All right, looking at the Lakewood Library website, I went to data in report, so I hope that I am recreating the same page that you are looking to create. So it looks here she's got a header, so we'll look at recreating that with the Donna Park logo behind and changing that background. Most of all of the text is going to be made by your theme, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Then layouts allow you to create with pictures and text in the right spaces. Otherwise, you can create each piece individually. So she's got a maker space, looks like pictures with labels underneath, lines in between the topics. She has a slide put in for her Bluebonnet data. I'm not going to walk through making the slide, but I will show you how to create a folder so that all of your permissions are correct. If you notice below, she has permissions needed for these 3 documents. They have to be public, and so I'm going to show you how to make sure that all of your documents that you put on your website become public for parents to be able to see. And so we'll kind of look at that and setting up from the very beginning. But again, we'll look at the different layouts and things like that as we go through. So I'm going to recreate it exactly as she created here, just using pictures and data that I have. But hopefully that'll give you a good enough picture to be able to create on your own. So the first thing we're going to go to is a new tab. From there, I'm going to go to my waffle and create or go to the Sites app. From the Sites app, I'm going to be selecting a brand new site. There will be a plus sign at the bottom right hand corner to create a new site. Alright, so you'll notice that off to the side here you have an insert page. From the insert page you have text box, images, embed from Drive, those layouts that I was talking about before. Those should look fairly familiar. Then underneath you have a lot of different options as well. You'll notice on her front page she actually has these buttons. They look like this on the bottom of her page, so that's what the buttons look like. Those dividers are right here. She has, or you have the option of YouTube, you have calendars that you can put up, maps is on her first page, and then doc slide sheets. All of these can be inserted from down here or also from your drive, so you can choose them from either place. Then Pages is going to let you either create from a link to linking out to a website. So this could be for your catalog without having to open the page to then click on the page. It'll click straight to the link. And then New Pages so that you could start a brand new page like this and it will show up in your navigation bar right here. And then Themes is going to show you your different colors that you're going to have within the website itself. It's going to show you the header of what that is going to look like. I believe she used the Aristotle as that line underneath it, but you can choose the different colors, and then within that it'll give you fonts within each style or each theme, so you can pick one that suits your library the best. So once you've got this started, when I actually want to show you how to find that in your drive as well, because you're going to be managing the information within it as well. So within my drive, what I like to do is go ahead and create a folder for that website. And so I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it Library Website. Create. Notice that it's here. When I click on it, so sometimes you're going to have things that you're creating, logos and different pieces that you know you're going to be working with, but don't necessarily need to be public files. They're going to stay in this folder right here. But within the folder, I'm going to create a new folder, and this one I'm going to call public. I'm going to create that, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the permissions. I'm going to say share. I'm going to go down to advanced. And then where it says private only you can access, I'm going to change that to public on the web. Okay, notice that anyone, no sign-in required, can view only. So they're just viewing your pieces. They could probably download as well, but they're not going to be able to edit what you've got on there, and you're going to hit save. Now, anything in this file, anything you drag and drop in here is going to ask you, do you want to share it with the same people? It means it will be public. If you create it within here, it's going to be public. You need that so that, like on her page where it said access denied and you have to request access, that's what we're saving you from having to do later. So anything that's going to be public on here, it's going to be accessed by multiple people, you can just go ahead and throw into this folder, and that's going to make it easier for you to manage later on as you add and delete things from your website to keep it updated. Otherwise, anything that you're using for design, even your pictures and things like that can go in the outside or it can go in the inside. No one's going to see this necessarily except for through the link on your website. So you don't have to worry about people necessarily finding it. They'd have to know exactly what you named it to even be able to search for it. And then, there's ultimately you're fairly safe, but just make sure that this is stuff that you want on the website public for everyone to be able to see. All right. So that being said, on her data and reports page, she had pictures and slides, and then she had some Google Docs as well. So I'm just going to throw a couple in my public folder. They're not going to be what she had, but they'll be similar enough. So we'll throw this one in here. If you're moving current files and you're wanting to just put them in there, you can either drag and drop, or like I just did, you can right click and move to. If you click on the arrow, it's going to show you within a folder. Okay, and I'm going to move that one there. See how it says that moving this item is going to share it with everyone who can see the folder public, which means that this will now be public. It's already a public document anyway. And then, all right, let's see. I have to find some. I can also take it and drag it up to the folder that I want it to go into. Find what I did with it. Library website. There we go. Whoops. The only weird thing is that I've got to do it one more time to get it into that one. So that's kind of why I like the move when I'm moving something like that. I can also move several at a time. In this case, I'm just going to move those and reuse them. And then again, pictures don't matter, but I like them to be all organized. So I might just pull a couple pictures over. I have my, you know what? I know what I'll do. Picture. 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 And I'll pull your logo. All right, I've got my pictures. I've got my public folder. For my public folder, I have a slide and a doc because that's what she had on hers. So again, you can put anything in here. Just know that once it's in here, it is public. You can see this public by the guy in the window here. If I go to something else, I can show you that this one, for example, is not shared. It doesn't have anybody in it. Okay. I will often put that library website right inside here as well. And so I would do that probably once I shared it and I can find it. I think I've got it just down here as an untitled site. So I would actually move that to that folder as well. Okay. So again, I've got my site, I've got my pictures, I've got my public folder, and that kind of keeps everything organized for this project. You might even have it by the different 6 weeks. You can do anything you want, but do it within the public folder for all of that, okay? But if you're working on something, work on it here, then drag it into the public folder that you're wanting to organize there. Okay, so then we're going to get started on the site itself now. All right, hers is called Lakewood Library, so you would probably put on here Donna Park Library. Okay, again, your site name, if I click on that, it's going to rename it. I can add my logo. Remember, I just put the school logo in my folder. So I go back to my library website folder and select Donna Park. It's going to add my little logo in there. It goes and thinks that I want it white because my background of my logo is white, but you can select anything based on your theme. I kind of like the white. Alright, so the next thing that she did was on the background here, she has the first home page she has is going to just be that it's her library page. So whoop, be good if I spelled everything correctly. Alright, the blue lines basically mean I can move that however I want to. If you notice there is this light little gray lines when I moved them and highlight them, those are going to tell you where I can move things to, and it can kind of center it back and forth. Then notice it will also give me an option of text. I've got normal, title, heading, subheading, and small. Those are going to be the same across the entire page, so it's going to kind of give you some graphic design principles that forces you to use the proper ones. You can also do your center, justification, all of that by the next one, and you can hyperlink that and insert a link to that something in here if you wanted to. So that's going to happen on any text box that you have. So that's kind of how text box work. If I added another one, it would give me those same options. See how I've got all of them, but it's going to add in bold, italic. It's going to have number lists, bulleted list, and then over here you've got editing options. Most people don't use these, but if you did have some code strike through or clearing the formatting from something, so say you copied and pasted from a PDF that you wanted to have that same wording and it had made it all funky when you got it on the page, you could clear the formatting on that and it would go back to your theme. Okay? Again, another thing to notice is that off to the side you have this toolbar so that you can do selection backgrounds. She had some different patterned ones, so you would be able to see the patterns based off of this over here, or images. If you select an image, it's going to give you the same library as it does for the header. And we'll get there in a second. I can also duplicate it, so if I have the same layout that I want or similar text to be done, then I can just copy that and I can move it around the page by pulling that little set of 8 dots. Okay, so back to that header. Your header type is going to be either a cover, it's going to be very large, large banner, banner, or title only is going to get rid of the background here. So I think she did a banner, and then her image, she selected her image, and you can either search out like that, or you can select image and you can go to your Google Drive and select your Donna Park logo, which is what she did. And now you have it behind it. It's going to adjust it and so that you can read a little bit better. You may or may not like how it adjusts. This is kind of where that theme may come into play. Again, she had this one. It makes it a little bit darker. You might go for a bold. You might like the box. You might like some of the different ones. So that's where you can kind of play around and go, that's what I want, or that's not what I want. To change the background image to fit within it, you're going to actually have to create a new picture. So you'd put a picture on like a Word document and use your snipping tool and get more white space so that it would make it smaller, but it's going to crop it for you, so you don't have a lot of choices on how it crops. You would just have to play with it if you wanted more, or maybe you just want the Mustangs behind it or something like that, then you could kind of play around with the background. All right. On her homepage, she then has an about her, contact information, and stuff like that. And then she has those buttons at the bottom. But I'm just going to move on to that next page so that I spend most of the time on the data and reports page that you were looking at. Okay. So to make a new page, I'm going to go to Pages, and I'm going to go to the new button and we want a new page. I'm going to name it Data and Reports. And select Done. Notice that it takes whatever I did on the first page and it moves it straight over to the new one, but I can change the image over here without it affecting my home page if I wanted to. And I can select an image that they already have or put my own. I can also move my text box over and I can insert a picture as well in that sidebar. So if that makes you a little bit happier with your logo, you kind of have some options. Okay. And if that doesn't work for you, then you can kind of do what you are. I'm just trying to show you a couple different options. So her first one, she used this layout right here, and that has an option for a picture, and then she has her space, or her words right here. So she has maker space. And I'm just going to copy and paste what she's got right here just so that it makes it easier for you to see. And then I'm going to upload or add a image. And I'm just going to pull those ones that I had already put in. Okay, notice that I have a cropping tool right here that's going to let it get bigger and smaller. There's not really great options for cropping, so just kind of keep that in mind when you're taking pictures. I can uncrop my picture and it will make it the full picture. I can link to this if I want that to go to a website or something else, or a YouTube video or anything, that can go there. Again, you've got options over here. You've got alt text, you've got captions, and then if you're wanting to replace the image without losing that text or that placeholder, then you can go through there as well. Okay. All right, underneath that, she has a selection of 4 pictures with a title underneath it. So that's going to be this layout right here. And we're going to put that in underneath it. And so she just had pictures underneath each one, and each one just said makerspace. Again, I would load the pictures just like I did in that first one. Okay. Then underneath that, she has a divider. So I'm going to put my divider in. So hers is really dark. It may be based off of her theme that she has. So my divider just showed up as a little gray line. Okay, so now you can see that little gray line. And then underneath that, she has her Bluebonnet data per class. This has a slideshow in it, but it still looks like she's using this as her layout. So we'll try this out. All right, and then I had my slide. I insert my slide, and over here she had Bluebonnet data per class. And then if you don't want this text right here, again, I can just get rid of that one little piece without changing everything too much. But then it still has the option to go through. And again, on this, just the same as the pictures, I have the option to make that as big as I want it to. Just be kind of mindful that if you're on a phone and you're looking at the data, you're obviously going to see a very small picture if it's only this big. But they can click on this little symbol and it's going to make it full screen for them, and they can go through and click. When you're in editing mode, it's not going to let you click through things. It's going to show it as a picture. But you also have settings. You can auto start. You can do a looping playback and some different things. If they don't work, it's probably because you have not published your slides, and we can talk about that if that's what you're wanting to do later. Okay. And then after that, she had 3 documents underneath it. So I'm going to choose this one right here. Again, go to my drive, and I'm going to put the same one in each one, but you can see how it would work. And you can see by having it all in one place already there, it makes it very easy to come in. And so she had 6th grade, 5th grade, and 4th grade. And again, she doesn't have anything in the bottom one, so I would just remove anything that you're not using. It's just easier than trying to format all of them and make them all match. Okay, so then her last thing is her Bluebonnet breakfast. It looks like this one again. And she had an image. So we're going to choose that one. And again, you would be putting whatever you had to show. And play around with the image however you want it to. Okay, after that she talks about professional development. She has one of those lines again. Professional development is that same layout. She has a picture and then she has her words. She has the line again. And then she's got a set of 3. And then this one she has circulation. So she has a picture here. And she has the word circulation. Underneath it she has her numbers. This one she has new titles. And library lessons. So those are the basic pieces that she has on that data and reports page. If there's another section that you'd like to look at or see, like her calendars or any other pieces, let me know and I can create another video. This is a rough one, so I hope that it works. If you're wanting to have anyone shared or collaborated, you can share it right here. This is for them to be editing. Otherwise, you're going to come in once you've got it to a place where you're ready to go online and you're going to publish. You're going to give it a web address. Okay, this is going to be the full address here. You can say who can view my site. You're going to want to manage that. And you're going to want the published to be anyone can find and view. And save. And done. Again, you can change that if you want to. I don't normally click this button, but you're welcome to if you want to. If you want to learn more about it, you can just click there. You'll hit publish. What's going to change about it, I'm not going to steal your website. Right here, once it's published, this is going to be a live link, and then every page that you're on is going to have a displayed page link, and that way you can get your link copied quickly and to be able to share that. You're going to take that link, which again is going to be this one right here for the home page. It might have a /home on the other side of that, and you're going to send that to Dave Nielsen, and he is going to need that you are at Donna Park, that you are the librarian, and that you are either replacing the current link that you have, or if you don't have a link right now, that you are putting this in place of your website. And he can get that done pretty quickly. He will give you an email back when he has got it live for you. And if there's any more questions, you know where to find me. Have a great day. Bye.